Hello and welcome to Yahoo Gaming. This is a board game review. About a month ago, I believe, I uploaded a teaser saying that I intended to upload reviews, which was true. However, it's been about a month since I uploaded anything, so what have you. However, I played this game this weekend, my gaming weekend, online, because of illness and I didn't feel like potentially infecting anyone. But because of that, I was on Tabletopia and I was able to play a Kickstarter preview game. And I decided that I would review it quickly and upload it since it is currently on Kickstarter. I am not in any way affiliated with them or with anyone, nor am I monetized, since you have to have more subscribers than I do that. So I don't actually care if you buy the game or not. I guess I do a little bit, since it would be cool if somebody bought the game because of me. That would be a milestone in my career. But it's not like I would get anything out of it other than just the satisfaction that somebody bought a game because of me. Um, and my YouTube channel. But anyway, we're talking about Puzzle Strike 2 today, which is a Tetris style game um, where you're getting gems coming down and you're rotating them so that they are the same kind of gem and then crashing. When you crash, all of the gems that are like the top gem and all the ones that are the same in a row will disappear and they will go to your power row. There are 4 power rows and each one has a like little thing that it will do. Well, it might be like very important because you may be losing and that may be the only way that you don't lose, which was the case at one point for me. But then the gems will also be sent to your opponent in the form of incoming gem tokens. And every turn, uh, you'll have to take an ante, which starts at 2 of whatever. There's like a row of cards, and one of them is the ante color. And then you can play cards and then take your incoming gems. At some point during your turn, there are 14 slots for gems, and if you end your turn with gems over the 10th spot, you lose. Um, think in a multiplayer game that when somebody loses, the person that has the lowest gems would then be the winner. I'll look that up real quick. In a 3 or 4 player game, uh, the player who busts is out, and everyone else would get another turn. Uh, and their score would be calculated at the end of their turn, as would the player that busted, and the player that has the lowest score would be the winner. Your score is comprised of gems in your gem pile and incoming gems. You would calculate your score after your turn, so it would be locked in at that point, and you couldn't potentially have more gems sent to you, thus making your score worse. Um, so, in my opinion, those games are quite fun. It's a quick, you know, 10-minute back and forth battle. Uh, the problem with a lot of games that try to replicate is that it's much slower and thus less interesting. The thing I liked about Puzzle Strike is it's quick and dirty. Uh, it's not overly complicated. You have a stack of gems. You rotate the gems so that you have the same color, ideally a long line, and at the top, and then you crash them and they get sent over. And it goes back and forth, and then eventually you're out. Now there's another endgame mechanic, which is that if you ever need to draw a card from the bank and the bank is empty, you also bust. So you kind of need to keep things moving. You can't just turtle indefinitely because eventually that will cause you to bust. Uh, anyway, I do not have a studio or anything, so I just rely on images that are available. This game is not out yet, so it is a little bit lackluster. But this is what the BGG page looks like. This is the cover of the game. And I have an image here. So this is the player board. You have two. This is where your deck goes and your discard pile, and it shows you. Okay, cool. It shows you your turn phases. The ante. First, you take two of whatever the ante color is, which is whatever color is in this spot. This is the bank. And then you take your actions. Your incoming gems are stored here. So at some point during your turn, you would take those gems. They would all come at once. So you can't like take a gem, do an action, and then take the second gem. The only exception to that is if the meter is full, you would take until it's full, and then you could complete actions, and then you could take them more. It is possible that you could have like 12 incoming gems and be at 10 and take 4 of them, clear 2, take 2 more, clear 6, take more. Like, so you could potentially take them several times, but that's not normally what will happen. Then you have your buy. On your buy, you buy a single card from here. These two are free. This one here would cost you an incoming gem, which would go into your slot and have to be dealt with next turn. 2, 3, and then you have your draw, which is where you would discard everything you had played, everything you have left in your hand, and draw 5 new cards. And then play continues. Now there's also this thing, it's a ridiculous, overproduced toy, the scepter. Whoever's holding the scepter cannot play a certain defensive card, and their attacks will go to every other player, and everyone who attacks the player with the scepter. Now that doesn't really play that much of a role in a 2-player game, but in a 3 or 4-player game, it's kind of like King of Tokyo where you attack everyone. I don't really want to explain everything about the game, but I just wanted to kind of give you a feel for what the game is like. Like I said, it's quick and dirty. Over here, when you have a crash, like if you're on the 3rd spot, you would add up the number of gems you're getting rid of plus the bonus. So let's say you were at 3 and you crashed all 3. You would send 4 gems. The 3 that you crashed would go onto the super moves, which I can't read them, but they do different things. Like for instance, the first one makes the opponent blue, pink, and then green. The blue one, choose a color, and then you destroy all gems of that color in your gem pile. Energize is the pink one, that is get 2 energy, draw 2 cards. And then the trick shot, put a bank card into your hand. You may play it for free anytime during your turn. That's pretty amazing. So you just go back and forth until eventually somebody has enough gems that they can't clear them before the end of their turn. And I'll show you some cards. So I have the rule book opened to the, well, I thought I did. Sorry guys. What the cards do. So there's these symbols, and I think there may be other symbols, but I'm not actually positive about that. This is a swap. When you do a swap, you swap 2 adjacent gems. There's a basic card that was in the deck we were doing, which allowed you to swap twice. When you do things on a card, you do them in the order that they show, and you must do everything that you can do. So, like you would swap twice. If it said crash and then swap twice, you would crash first and then swap twice. Or if it said swap twice and then crash, you would do it in that order. There's a deep swap, which is swap any 2 gems. That can be helpful if you have one and you have a pile of them somewhere else to sort of fix that. Draw a card, discard a card. It's pretty self-explanatory. Crash is break the top gem and adjacent gems of the same color. Put all those gems into your super meter of that color. Send that many gem tokens to the opponent plus your height bonus, if any. The deep cycle is the same, except it can be any group of gems. However, you would only give them the gem bonus for the top of that group of gems. There's also cost adjusts. Uh, there's actions. Like cards cost actions. This card here costs 0 actions. This one costs 1. This one costs 3. Uh, so if you played this card that costs 3 action, you get 3 action at the beginning of your turn. That would be all you can do. Um, there's other cards, like for instance this card, which costs 2, but it gives you a crash and an energy. So like you'd have 1 energy left after playing it, and then play a couple other cards. There's also a mechanic that gives you wounds. So this card here says gain 2 wounds. Those are just cards that do nothing. They would go into your discard pile. Obviously, it's very good to give 2 crashes, but if you don't win, eventually you're going to start drawing cards that you can't play, and that's not as good. Oh, I just realized that you cannot actually see the card because I am in front of it. I am so sorry. um, but anyway, uh, it is on Kickstarter now, as of when I'm posting the video. It has 17 days left, and for $70 you get the base game, which comes with uh, everything you see here, which includes 2 of the bank decks and 10 characters. For $30 more, you get the expansion, which includes 4 more bank cards and 10 more characters. So, in my opinion, and what I purchased is the with the expansion, which is $100 plus shipping in the U.S. Well, I guess it would be for anywhere, but shipping would obviously be different for different countries. But anyway, it's really high production values. These are pictures of the gems. They're like these crazy 3D things. And I don't know if I showed the wand yet. Like a real picture of the wand. Okay, so it's like this like toy, and it actually has like a light up top. It's kind of absurd, but it's a fun game. If you like Tetris style battle games, I think you'll like this. Anyway, until next time, thanks for watching.